Yeah, I don't really know though. If you win this match, is it really a prize? I mean, you have to face red hot CHX42 after this one. So the runners who win the runner who wins this match is definitely going to have it, you know, pretty rough in the next round.
The thing to keep in mind is that if you win from this point going forward, every win up top is 2 wins on the bottom. So if you're looking to get into that top 8, you want to stay up top as long as possible to make your path as easy as possible. Here we go, game number 1. Jefeman82 on the left, Sigmafan on the right, and you can already see the little more equal play compared to the previous match. They're both just holding that middle and using the shield as a weapon.
Yeah, the center control is a little bit better on Hefe Man's side, but there is a little bit of RNG that does play factor into this first room. Hefe Man got him lined up a little bit better than Sigma, but still only about a second difference between the two racers here.
Might be a little more than that even. I'd say a little over 2. So a solid opener for Hefe. Let's see what the opening drop is. Hefe gets a foot, can run around a little faster. Sigmafan, meanwhile, looking, gets an orb. It's late, but it's there.
Maybe that luck has swung for her finally. She gets the first pivotal drop of the run, and then a Razor Shield to boot that. Hefe Man getting a orb of his own, so we got a somewhat even of a matchup starting here on this first round. Sigma getting the benefit early, but you know, not much of a difference between the two right now.
And now rockets for Hefe to help finish up the room. This will get the shrapnels under control as well. As you can see, it's going to be probably basically a dead heat. We're tied up, heading to eat my shrapnel.
We are tied up. Sigma has about a second of a difference of desync from the two, so it is actually a pretty even match right now.
So this room has got 18 Mr. Shrapnel, a maximum of 4 on the screen at one time. There is a set amount of swarmers you have to kill. But if you're keeping things well under control,
if you're keeping things
they'll be gone long before the shrapnel.
Yeah, you're cutting out a little bit. It's like you keep it well under control. If you kill all the foot soldiers, you should run out of foot soldiers long before the shrapnels come out of the doors.
Yeah, you're looking for about 42 and a half seconds-ish. That's about how long this room should last. And if they are, all things being equal, they should be out at the same time. And Hefe Man's going to get a slight lead just based on being nearer the door. Kind of anticipated leaving a little better than Sigma.
Of course, if you do go to by the door and you count 17, there's a possible chance that a shrapnel will come out that right door. And, you know, that's not very nice to deal with when that happens.
Speaking of not very nice, Sigma did not get the opening razor drop that Hefe did. So Hefe is enjoying a little bit of safety in the middle. You're not completely invulnerable over there, but love that early shield.
That was a very dangerous grab for rockets by Hefe Man there. It was on the mine there, the leaf mine. He's chaining some power-ups here. Sigma not getting too much on her side there, but she gets a grenade. I think Hefe Man's going to let the nuke go on this one. Riding that Razor Shield. He is about to run out of that Razor Shield. He's going to want to power up here. Doesn't get a good one, an invulnerability. Both managing to keep control of the center very well, I'd say. This is kind of what you want to see from these veterans here. Sigma taking
I like this nuke. I like this nuke from Sigma. Maybe gets one more shrapnel. No, it's a great nuke. It gets rid of the shrapnel. So good job for Sigma. Drops weren't as good, but recognized. End of the room. Use that nuke, even though it didn't finish it, believe. Took care of the shraps.
So we got a 302 entry for Hefe Man, a 308 entry for Sigmafan. It is time for Taco Bell. Taco Bell. Product placement. Taco Bell.
Yokiro, I don't know, Baja Blast or something. I don't really eat at Taco Bell.
Yokiro Chalupa. Don't make sure you get yourself a Baja Blast with that order. I don't like Baja Blast though.
Rockets to open for Sigma. Great drop. Nice dancing to keep the orb safe here, and back to the middle.
See, Hefe Man not really getting a whole lot of good drops to start this.
Oh, he gets trapped! He gets trapped!
Gets strapped. Sigmafan a little bit of an opening here to take the lead, perhaps. He was not too far behind, about 5 seconds. That is definitely going to widen if Hefe Man does not get any good power-ups or an orb to replace that.
Ooh, Sigma's living dangerous here, but that orb is still healthy.
Still not getting a whole lot of drops on Sigma's side. Hefe Man getting some rockets. That'll help keep him in this one.
As we've discussed, Leaf, you can ride rockets through this whole room. You're happy as a clam.
Yep, if you can get 6 rockets in a row. Sigma has taken the lead going into the Mutoid Man, about 421, a high 421. Hefe not going to be too far behind. He was able to ride the rockets and the Razor Shield at 428.
6 and change here. Like a drop, basically, your lead. So we'll see how it goes. Sigma will have a slight advantage of that orb here. May be able to slam it in there for the damage at the base of the skull of Mutoid.
Yeah, Hefe Man using the rockets to get rid of that swirl there. Is Sigmafan going to be able to get the ball buster? She does, so that's an advantage for Sigmafan, but Hefe Man does have lobbers. and so does Sigmafan here. So still advantaged by about one form for Sigmafan as she's going to pop the left arm very soon. There it
It's
is.
basically a tie game right now because the empty drop.
Yeah, that empty drop at the beginning for Sigma definitely was crucial, but she was able to nail the ball buster to keep it ahead. There's a spreader for Jefeman. He's going to have to manual here. He doesn't get too much, but he does get damage to pop the second arm here. So the lead is now back on the Hefeman's side. Sigma is not too far behind, though, with those drops.
All the cats are getting excited, guys. They are pumped for this matchup. This is race number 1 of a best of 5.
Yeah, were you hearing my cats fight in the background?
Sure was. It's awesome.
So we got a chest pop for Jefeman, a one form lead for him. Sigma is still not too far behind. She's going to nail that.
Oh, big chance for both here. Better location for Hefe, and Mutoid lines up better as well.
Yeah, neither one got the benefit of the Jefeman going up, but definitely, I think he recognized it too late as Jefeman is on the final form. Sigma is on the penultimate form, a one form of lead. I think Jefeman's going to need another power up. These grenades should do it for him. I think he will.
Good recognition on the shrapnel there, Leaf. Stepped away at the right time.
And it is. The grenades are enough for Jefeman to take game 1. Sigma, one form behind. Still not a bad time for either racer here. A 6:50.
Yeah, a solid opener for Jefeman taking game number 1. Sigma looking for a final weapon here. Just that better spreader location ended up being the biggest difference. And, of course, Mutoid lining up for Jefeman. Really just a double whammy at the end there for Sigma. Solid opener, though, for both, I have to say.
Yeah, it's just the RNG, again, just not... It's a fickle thing in the Mutoid, man. It's like, if you get the spreader, it's great on Mutoid, man. If you don't get a spreader and you just have to ride lobbers, it's a much different run if you just don't get that light up. And Jefeman definitely the beneficiary of some very good placements on that one. Sigma going to get out. It's going to be a sub 7 for her. So Jefeman taking game number 1 is the best of 5 here. So 1-0. So maybe the RNG will swing in the next one and Sigmafan can close the gap. I would hope to see that. I definitely think we could see a best of 5 here, go the distance on it.
One thing to keep in mind here is Sigmafan is playing on console, but it's using a North American card. So we'll be facing a potentially harder Mutoid Man fight in the aspect of Mutoid Man shoots lasers constantly anytime the head is out. So every form but the second last one. Whereas Hefe is playing on the Japanese version, which has irregular laser fire, which generally is safer, but every now and then you're going to get sniped because you can't time it out. So it's a trade-off. Generally safer with potential disaster rolled all into it. So game number 1 to Jefeman82. Let's see if Sigmafan can equalize, and there's a prediction open here with some channel points on the channel. Why don't you throw some points in the pot, support who you think's going to win, and we will be underway momentarily. Looking at it, I feel that the firing lanes were better for Jefeman in that opening game. Sigmafan was dancing a little bit to escape, but did a good job of staying alive. Able to keep doing that will keep you in any race. I'm going to have to pick. I think Sigmafan is going to even this one up here. I think Leaf's getting them underway here, so we'll be going here momentarily. But make your prediction, Leaf. Who is going to win game 2?
Yes, I have counted that one in. I would say in the last game, Sigma was a little more lucky, I would say, on some things. Jefeman had a couple mistakes, like in Tank Trouble, he took that death. So I think it was a little sloppier play on the arena on Jefeman's side. I think the luck was more favorable for Jefeman in the Mutoid Man fight. So I think the luck is going to swing, and I think Sigma is going to tie it up here.
Well, we are underway here, game number 2. They've both got their Razor Shield and holding up the middle. And again, you can see it here. Jefeman, very solid on these firing lanes. Came in last year to the tournament, maybe with a potential of, maybe a little overachieved for seeding with that crazy PB that he got. But the work is paying off. Jefeman is looking very solid on those firing lines.
Yeah, he's definitely improved a lot compared to this last year. It seemed like a fluke with this PB, but he's definitely shown that it was no fluke this year.
So they are underway here. Let's see. Jefeman gets the Razor Shield. Invulnerability for Sigmafan, and that's okay, but not really what you want.
See, spreaders, I mean, spreaders are all right, but what you really want to see are rockets or razor shields. You could ride the rockets for this entire room. Jackamus is actually the king of doing something like that. And I think Brysov's good at it too. I mean,
Oh, no, I'm not. I am terrible. You're thinking of someone like CHX. Quite good
so
with those rockets. I have always been poor at single rocket fire. Jefeman out sub 80 thanks to the rockets and the razor shield.
it was a
So
119.
now,
It was a 119 for Hefe, and it's a 126. Sigmafan with an orb on her side, walking into tank trouble or
uh,
shrapnels.
nice patient exit there. Just has to watch out. There's a lot of stuff around. Oh, boy.
So Hefe Man's still hunting for that orb. And with those rockets, he's going to be able to maintain control in the shrapnel room. Sigma is looking primed and good to take the lead in the next room if Hefe Man is unable to get one in this room. Doing good control. The Razor Shield is going to help maintain control. I don't think at this point. So what Sigma should do is take the Razor Shield off by butting it into the shrapnels. I don't think she's going to do that here.
It costs you like a half a second at most. And if you're worried about dropping that orb, I can understand it. Nuke on the feet for Sigmafan, not a bad thing. Cleans up the room. So get you a nice solid starting base to start from. Good stuff.
Hefe Man's still hunting for that orb. I mean, if he can ride the rockets, it won't matter too much. But sooner or later, that luck is going to run out, and Sigmafan is just going to take advantage because she still has that orb. So advantage still Sigmafan right now, but Hefe Man is getting the benefit of getting good drops on his side.
Yeah, it was a great recognition with the rockets to step around that spreader and just use up as much as possible before picking up that spreader as it was disappearing.
And there it is.
Orb. There's the orb. So we'll see how this exit plays out. It was about a 6-second lead or so coming into the room.
I don't know if it'll be a sub 3 going into the next room. It's going to be a 305 or something like that if you can knock all these
wow.
out.
And look at this. It is going to be almost a tie. Maybe a second lead here for Hefe Man.
Yep, not too much of a difference here. Not too shabby. So instead of Taco Bell placement, let's talk about our restreamer here, Mr. Dino and Krelos and GG Speedruns. We are very happy and excited to be on their platform. If you haven't dropped a follow on them, be sure to do that. If you want to help them even more, we would love for you to subscribe to them. They do a lot of work. They put on a lot of tournaments, and they would definitely love to have your support.
Indeed, they, I believe, do a Cuphead tournament every year in addition to some other tournaments. They do some Pizza Time, a bunch of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle runs most years. So check out GG Speedruns. If you're not following already, you should be.
So what a good opening drop for Hefe Man is he gets rockets to take out both the gunners. Sigmafan also getting rockets of her own to take out both the gunners. So it is almost as even as it can possibly be in the TTTTs right now, where both runners after those rockets have been getting
Ooh,
that.
Sigma dropped the orb though, so a huge issue.
And then she takes a death in this room. So
Brilliant.
it seems like the roles have kind of reversed a little bit. Hefe Man playing a little more clean in this tank trouble here, where Sigmafan is making the mistakes that he made in the last game. So a 5-18 entry for Hefe Man with an orb. Is Sigmafan going to get out of here in at least another 10 seconds and maybe not bleed as much of a lead?
Well, right now, just hoping to take out the Swarmers to get the Shraps to stop showing up, and that will be the end. But it's going to be a very solid lead.
So Hefe Man unfortunately drops the orb on the Mutoid, is not able to get the ball.
Oh, and an empty drop.
And then an empty drop to go with that one. So he gets some rockets to take out those gunners, but that is all the damage. And another empty drop for Hefe Man. Oh, Sigma unfortunately grabbed lobbers, and it's going to be a pain to get rid of that.
Oh, this laser might have been very good. Oh, that laser was perfect. I don't know if Sigma did that intentionally, but that worked out nicely.
Yeah, that swirl is still on her screen, though. That is going to be a little bit of an issue if she doesn't take care of that. So it was.
Oh wow! I was going to say Sigma may have taken the lead here.
Yes,
it's close.
It's a slight lead, but we are on the same form. There was a little bit of manuals done on Hefe Man's side with the spreader, but not too much. So she is going to pop the right arm. She is in a lead, just a slight bit. The arm is now off on Hefe Man's side. So advantage Sigmafan. Still no meaningful spreaders for either racers.
Sigma is playing really aggressive on those weapon grabs. You love to see it. Meanwhile, Hefe running out the grenades. Couldn't get to the foot. Will Sigma get that lobber? It's going to be close.
He has it. So drops favoring Sigmafan on this one. Hefe Man is hitting that sort of critical spot right behind the Mutoid Man's neck.
Nice grab.
You get some extra damage. That is the equivalent of getting inside his hitbox if you hit his neck area. So on the penultimate form for Sigmafan, she's still one form ahead of Hefe Man.
Spreader chance for
Better
Sigma.
chance.
This might be key.
She might
Hefe's. Oh, it's lining up too. Mutoid lines up for her.
lines up for her. This should be the end of the round for her. That should take her. If it's not going to kill him, this lobber should do it.
And
It
gets it
does.
done. All that transfer damage. And the better luck on Mutoid bails out Sigmafan from a bad tank trouble where a couple orbs were dropped. I think a death was taken. But in the end, you take the W's where you can get them. We're all tied up at 1.
So like I said, the roles kind of reversed on that one. Jefeman had a much cleaner tank trouble. Sigmafan having a little bit of an uglier tank trouble. And the RNG followed both times. The RNG was favorable for Sigma this time, favorable for Jefeman last time. So we are tied up. It is now a best of 3 going into game number 3.
And as always, you don't win the match in game number 3, but this is a real key one for you. You win this one, you get 2 shots to trot yourself into that next round. And if you lose this one, well, you're going to have to win one, and then you're going to have to win another to take the match. So you really want to take game 3. The so-called catbird seat, if you will. You want to make sure to win this one. We'll have to see how it lines up for them. Hopefully we get some good equal RNG early for some good orb action and see if they can just ride that through the arena and enter really close to one another into the Mutoid Man. So I believe Leaf will be getting them underway momentarily. And remember, guys, this isn't all the Smash TV action coming at you today. We'll be taking a break for the afternoon, but this evening, starting at 6, elimination match. The elimination match is featuring the 10 and the 13 seed. So some really tight matches coming up still today after this 8-9 finishes up.
They are counted in, and we are going to be going here shortly. Best of 3. Sigmafan has equalized. Will she take the lead here? That leaves that will be answered here in about 6 short minutes.
And here we go. We are going game number 3. Jefeman82 on the left, Sigmafan on the right. Let's see if Jefeman continues to have the advantage, leaving the first room in Arena 1, appropriately titled Arena 1. I've never liked that it's called that, for the record.
It's like, what's the first arena in Arena 2 called?
Orbs, I believe. Something like that.
Something kind of stupid, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. Great nuke from Sigmafan, but still, look at this. That's a 37 or a low 38. And Sigma, again, just trailing by a few seconds, entering collect power-ups.
Is it a little misleading like collect power-ups is? Because, I mean, you don't want to always collect the power-ups and collect power-ups.
Still better than calling the first room in Arena 1, Arena 1. Either way, opening advantage, Sigmafan. Jefeman82 ignores the grenades, and now an orb, and then rockets here for Sigma. Great opening drops.
Advantage for Sigma. She doesn't have the trifecta or whatever that LOC Cards fan says. She just needs
the Holy Trinity.
The unholy trinity. She has the rockets now. Does she get the razor shield to boot? No, she doesn't.
But as you can see, had real difficulty landing those last shots. So Jefeman82 with that later orb loses a couple seconds, but still leads into Eat My Shrapnel. Oh, unfortunate shrapnel there. Leaf took half of the shield away from Sigma.
See, I don't really think that's a big issue in Eat My Shrapnels. I mean, it's nice to have the razor shield, but at just a certain point, you're going to have to ditch it. And I just don't think there's enough foot soldiers to warrant needing a full shield. So I'm actually okay with her losing the shield like that.
Not necessarily against it. It just depends whether you try to use it as a weapon, because you can drop your orb somewhat easily not paying attention as you're swinging it around.
Yeah, Jefeman actually swung his around and got rid of all that, so he's going to not take the small little penalty that Sigmafan is now taking. But
a little less than 2 seconds here as we head into total carnage.
Yeah, we are still dead even with both of them getting, well, I think Sigma had some rockets going into this room, but razor shields for both, rockets for both, grenades on Jefeman's side now. Definitely, that's
more rockets.
That is 3 in a row for Sigmafan right now on rockets. And she is going to do the veteran thing and actually wait to expend all of the magazine before grabbing that drop.
And now as a spreader, we'll grab it. Appears so. It has Jefeman's shield is melting. Sigma really laying it on here with these weapons. You love to see these
You love to
weapons.
you love to see it, and she's also very efficiently doing it too, like using all of the magazine before it goes away.
And she's even kept the shrapnels under control with these weapons. So, and
And
more
and then
rockets.
more rockets.
Wow.
This is a sub 3 entry for her. This is a 256. Yes, a 256, a 250, a 258 for Hefeman. This
That was a sub 50 room. That's how good those weapons were.
Yeah, this is some good stuff by both our racers. Both sub 3 into this room. You guys are in for some fireworks on this one. If these tank troubles go very well for both, it could be a sub 6 for both racers potentially.
All right, coming in with rockets here. Definitely enough for Sigmafan to finish off the gunners. Hefeman coming in with nothing. Let's see.
Yeah.
Great start here. Going to get rid of that and just getting rid of a bunch of swarmers, setting Sigmafan up for success. Hefe takes out the left gunner and will now have to survive a triple shrap attack.
Yeah, Hefe had a foot at the start, but he definitely was able to get that one gunner out using some very effective firing on his side.
And both getting a little in the weeds here, but so far no orb drops. That's what you want to see.
Yeah, this is the typical TTTT where nobody's really getting any drops. Sigmafan getting a dude, and Sigmafan getting a foot on his side. Definitely needs to see some rockets. Sigmafan.
Oh, an orb drop for Hefe, but Sigma goes down.
Yeah, Sigmafan was dancing with the devil on that one, and it just finally ran out for her on that one. And both don't have an orb anymore, and just the typical tank trouble trash is affecting both racers. Sigma is still out at about 415.
Yeah, love to see it for Sigma, but not far behind at 422. Here comes Hefeman.
So it's a 6-second difference between the two racers. Hefeman does have some rockets to start, so he'll be able to take out the swirl and get those two gunners. Sigma with nothing, an empty drop to start on her side.
Gets killed, not a big deal. We'll get the lobbers here. Lobbers for Hefe, so pretty even Steven overall here. Sigma trying to get rid of the gunner, but not quite able to get it done yet.
So it gets an invulnerability shield on Hefeman's side, but no spreader to kind of complement that one. Gets another invulnerability, so it's not too bad.
No! Oh no, Sigma got a spreader, but got sniped.
So Hefeman ignoring that invulnerability shield on his side. So two form, okay, it's a one form lead now with Sigmafan popping the left arm. Hefeman gets a spreader. He's going to have to do some manuals to get his damage there.
Speaking of manual spreaders, we might see the same coming here for Sigma. Full form back. I think Hefe's landed a few.
Yeah, Sigma getting a spreader, but in a player 2 location, not a very good one for player 1. She isn't able to take advantage of that. So one form lead for Hefeman.
And now they're on the same form. It's going to be tight here. Ooh. Oh, can't die for that one, but uses a little bit of the shield. Great recognition there, Leaf.
And he is getting some good manuals. He followed Hefeman to the wall, and he was able to get all those manuals to there. He's on the final form, two form lead advantage for Hefeman. An empty drop. He needs to get this lobber. I don't think this will do it. If he effectively hits his shots, he should be able to maybe finish, but I think he's going to need another one. Sigmafan popping for the pentultimate form on her side. This lobber for Hefeman should do it here.
Another key for Sigma. That's 3 in the room. And Hefe gets it done here. It's a 2-1 lead.
See, that was a very crucial manual. That was a great move on Hefeman's side to get that one. And the Mutoid just kind of tailing him to the wall there. He is taking a little bit of a penalty with those shrapnels there, but not quite sort of a detriment to lose him a race or anything. So he gets a 620. Going to be taking this match 2-1 and forcing a match point where Sigmafan is going to be fighting for her life to stay in the winner's bracket.
Won't be out of the tournament, but will have to drop down to the second chance where you have to win every match to keep advancing.
So again, to remind you, the winner of this match is going to move on to face our defending champion, CHX42. The loser is going to be going down to the second chance bracket to face the Real Zero in an elimination match. Sigma getting a 652 to round that one out, and we are now 2-1, with advantage being Hefeman. Match point for him. I will get them started, and we'll be right back.
I'm honestly just hoping we're going to see some equal Mutoid luck here in one of these races. It's been very slanted. Mutoid generally decides each one, but there are little, micros and macros and min-maxes you can pull off in that boss room. And honestly, sometimes just chaining weapons and not dying And we'll be underway here momentarily, guys. Game number 4, Jefeman82 versus Sigmafan. We'll see if we're going to go to a deciding game 5, or Jefe is going to finish it off here and take a 3-1 victory today. They're both at the startup screen. No doubt Leaf getting them counted in. We'll be starting any moment. And again, a triple header tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern. You don't want to miss that one.
I've counted them in. It's a 2-1 match point victory for Jefeman. But I would love to see a game 5. We love those nail biter games, as we want to get as many of them as possible.
Oh, you most definitely do. And, you got to keep in mind that sometimes my internet just wants to cut out. Thank you, internet.
Yeah, we love to see our game 5, so that means we get to see a lot more Smash TV action. You can only see it right here at GG Speedruns.
Is the saying always went, you pay for the whole seat, but you'll only use the edge when it goes to 5. Oh, grenade pickup from Jefe. A bit of a mistake here. This will cost him a lot in range, and as you can see, that really cost him some grief. Sigma's out with a high 40, and that grenade grab is going to be a 44 for Jefe. A disaster in Arena 1.
Yeah, a fun note about that one, that Sigma is actually, that's the first time she's actually left Arena 1 before Jefeman.
It was also Sigma's best opener and an opening drop orb, so... Yeah, it's breaking well here early for Sigmafan.
But Jefeman gets rockets on his side, so that'll still keep him in this one if he can get the lane firing and keep the kill count up.
Going to ignore the spreader. I think I agree here. You just want to kind of ride those rockets as long as you can, and gets a refill. How about this, Leaf?
So it doesn't really matter.
And then an orb!
And then he gets an orb to finish the room. So he's going to be a little bit behind Sigmafan, about 4 or 5 seconds, but not too far, not too shabby. He was able to make up for it.
Honestly, I don't think he lost any time. I think it was a dead heat for how it came in, around 4 seconds. So good for Jefe.
So all the time was lost in Arena 1. So we got some pretty even stuff here. We got orb on both sides, rockets on both sides, easy control for the shrapnels. They should make easy work and be able to maintain control of this room. So the one that's really going to change is the next one.
What I'm really liking from Jefe in particular is in this room, not a lot of wandering constantly. Sometimes people get a little in the weeds when they start flying around, moving too fast. You leave yourself vulnerable to running into nukes or bad power-ups that can really mess with what you're throwing down. You don't need to get too adventurous.
And if you have foot soldiers, it also messes up. So we got about a 5-second lead for Sigmafan here going into total carnage here.
Oh boy!
Some intense dancing there on Sigma's side as she avoids all those shrapnels. That could have been very dicey.
She got a little adventurous swinging out wide, gets a razor shield on the feet, but Sigma did save it, so good for her. Let's see now how it's going to line up on the next drops.
Razor on the feet, not too much to sneeze at for both racers, just that razor shield for Sigma. She's going to ignore that spreader. I mean, I kind of like that move. It's a little out of the way there. You don't really want to get out of the center and mess up the movement of the foot soldiers.
Yeah, the spreader doesn't give you much advantage. At best, you're breaking even. Jefe almost lost the orb there. That was tight. But and lost orb! Sigma drops the orb. Yep, thumbs down from Sigma, and now it's a 2-second lead.
We are into the bonus room. It was about a 301 entry, I think, for Sigmafan. She still has the lead, but that orb, just a big difference. And for once, I believe Sigma had rockets almost like half the matches going into Tank Trouble here. So it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen here. I think Jefeman, with that orb, is going to be able to go after the left gunner again, but we'll see.
Well, let's see what Sigma's going to do here. Going to look at the power up. It is a razor shield, so it's something. Can decide to take out probably one gunner. Gets rockets as a second drop. Rockets for Jefe. Wow.
What a great drop for Jefe, man. He really needed that. He took out
and an orb for Sigma. Look at these drops. Unbelievable.
So right back up to even out pretty much for both racers. So who can maintain control of this room the best? Jefeman taking a nuke. It's not a bad move to take in this room just because the spawn rate is so high.
I mean, I'll often just take... Oh, no! Sigma drops the orb! Gets rockets, though! You can chain them here. Let's see what the next drop... It's a spreader. Decent, but... Oh, no, a death. This is bad.
Sigma gets batted down, but I think she's almost at the end of the room, so it's not going to be too much of a loss. But she still needs some power up to kind of end it. I think, yes, she is going to still be tied up with Hefe Man, but it's a 420 to a 421 going into the Mutoid Man fight with advantage Hefe still able to do that ball buster.
Yeah, it's under a second difference. And remember, Sigmafan, due to capture card delay, has some potential issue with timer stopping early visually. So if it's a close one, we will have to frame count. Oh, Hefe Man trying for the ball buster, but gets flexed into.
Yeah, Hefe Man unfortunately has not had very much success with the ball buster today, so that is unfortunate for him. Sigma has the lead slightly, not very much, but
and missed all the rockets despawned, and then an empty drop.
Then an empty drop. So I think it's pretty much tied now. Sigma popped the arm first, but there's not much of a lead really to go at.
Finally a weapon here for both, and it's lobbers, so keeping it kind of even right now.
Invulnerability on Hefe, he can ignore it because he has enough lobber. Sigma gets another lobber to kind of refill her magazine on that.
Should be able to pop to the next form, so... Oh, I think Hefe with a mistake. I don't think he meant to do that.
I don't think he meant to do it, or he tried to, but he thought it was a little later than it was, but I think he died a little too early. But he does get a lobber to kind of replace it, but Sigma is still lead form ahead. He pops the chest there. Sigma, I think he's going to pop the head. There she goes. Because he took that death, he cannot do the death for the spreader up there.
I do like this approach, though, from Hefe. Trying to pop the form before grabbing the spreader. Couldn't quite get it. He's got to be careful of that shrapnel. Recognizes it. Oh, but he doesn't see the other one! So crossfire!
Gets sniped from the shrapnel. He doesn't get a whole lot of manual, so it's still advantage Sigma, as she is, I believe, about to pop the Pentultimate form to go to the final form. There it is. Hefe Man still one form behind. If the RNG plays out, we still could potentially get it here if Hefe Man gets a spreader, but Sigmafan, and here it goes, pop on final form for Hefe Man. Sigmafan is going to pop it and force a game number 5. Great fight for Sigmafan.
Great fight for Sigmafan. Did not die. There was a couple grabs there where Sigma had to take routes that were maybe not as efficient as you could on the JP version. As you can see there, the snipes coming in at Hefe and get shrapped. Not that it matters, but Sigma did the nice inside cut routes, timing out those lasers. It is nice to have that. And we're going to a game number 5.
Yes, we love to see that. Hefe Man definitely making some very, very crucial mistakes in that run, getting sniped when he didn't need to and running into that mine. Definitely the difference on that one. So we are going to game 5. Sigmafan ties it up. It's 2-2. Winner takes all. Winner moving on to face CHX42 in the finals for the Strap division. Loser going down to face the Real Zero. I will get them started, and we will get our final game in for this session.
And I do have to apologize. I didn't quite say that right. Crossfire is how I should have said it.
Crossfire!
And yeah, that was an unfortunate takedown for Hefe Man. At least we're having a bit of fun with it. We'll see how it breaks here in game number 5. They'll be underway here in a moment. You love to see it. Anytime you can have a match go the distance, it is always exciting, and all we want is a good close race. Good equal opportunities early, good equal opportunities late. We just want to see them skill versus skill. You don't want this decided by pure luck. Make your predictions now in channel points. It's up for you to make your bet. Sigmafan gonna complete the comeback from down 2-1. Is Hefe Man gonna stave off the challenge from her? We'll have to wait and see. Oh my goodness. This promises to be a great one.
Yeah, it's definitely living up to the hype, that's for sure. We knew that going into this one. An 8 seed versus a 9 seed with the difference of 13 seconds between our two racers. You couldn't have asked for any better of a race than this one. You love to see this in tournament play.
I'm gonna dust off a little LZ Cards fan. Is the winner gonna go sub 6 in the decider? Yes or no? I say yes. I think we're gonna see a sub 6 here. We'll let Leaf predict once the countdown is in place. And you in chat, is the winner gonna go sub 6?
Yeah, we haven't seen a sub 6 yet in this matchup, so I'm definitely thinking we're due for one on that one. I think after what happened with Hefe Man in that one, because he was just having some very nasty plays in the Mutoid Man, I think he'll clean it up and take it here, but That's just really unfair to say because it could go either way with these two racers. It's just, I didn't watch any of the races leading up to this one. I don't know who's more fresh than the other, who's got the better times. So I don't know.
I will say this year's tournament has been a little slow on the sub sixes in general. Aquas has had two sub 530s though in two matches, which is kind of incredible to think about, and almost a PB to boot.
Well, he's definitely the one you were picking to have trouble against CHX for. So we would just hope that he lives up to that hype. So Jefeman is out of the Arena 1 first, about a 3-second lead for him.
Yeah, I see 40 Watt making that mention about the clock issue. That's just how Sigmafan has a capture delay and doesn't have it set up to line up correctly. So you notice Sigmafan's clock will also stop early. Both getting early orbs here, Leaf.
Yeah, Sigma getting
Awesome.
a first drop orb. Jefeman gets like a second or third drop orb on his side. So advantage Sigma right now. Not too much of a time difference between them right now.
Yeah, so continuing along here, just holding the middle, watching out for those shrapnels. The explosion of the shrapnels helps Sigma here, but it is going to be a very slight Hefe lead. And I mean slight.
About a 1-second lead for Jefeman. Gets an opening Razor Shield on his side. Sigmafan getting the grenades. This is probably the one room where you don't really think the grenade is a bad drop because you can somewhat get rid of it without mitigating like any loss of time.
Yeah, it doesn't cost you too much generally, but if you're chasing that orb, you hate to see it because it's the wrong round to power up.
Yep. But if you get rid of it and you need an orb, you can force it. But yeah, the grenade. I mean, at least you can expend it quickly in this room. So Jefeman out with a 204. Sigma not too far behind with a 206. Almost dead even here. We'll see what the power ups go for in total carnage.
Good job there. They both fired their way, free and clear the way you want to. Nuke on the feet for Sigma. Clean it up. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Get rid of those shrapnels. Makes you nice and safe.
There's a Razor Shield for Sigmafan, so advantage her. Jefeman not getting a whole lot. He got a nuke at his feet, but he gets a spreader here, and then a key, and then feet for Sigmafan. Still advantage Sigmafan here.
And good decision from Sigma. Just ignore those feet. They're in a bit of a dicey spot. You've already got a speed upgrade. Rockets on the feet. How about that, Leaf?
Yes, that's excellent. That's one of the better power-ups that we've seen so far. Hefe getting absolutely nothing on his side.
Razor.
He's getting the TTTT on his side, and it's not even tank trouble. So he gets a Razor Shield, finally. That's one of the better powers he's gotten so far. He still had some very good control in the room. It is tied up.
It is tight. Oh my goodness. What an insane thing to see here as we head to tank trouble. And in case you're wondering there, Leaf, that would be the TCTC, which is the totally crappy total carnage.
Yes, sir. I mean, it was definitely rotten on Jefeman, but he definitely kept control of it despite all the stuff that was happening on his side. So very good on his side. There's no power-ups going into this one. It is dead even for both racers. So let's see what Tank Trouble has in store for both of them.
Opening drop is a dude. Rockets by the door here for Hefe. Good grab.
A very dicey grab for Hefe, but he played it perfectly, and he is able to get both.
Sigma just got a shrapnel haircut. That was close.
Yeah, some good movement from Sigmafan, as we expect from her. She did have one of the clips of the century back in, I think, 5th annual tournament.
I think the 4th, actually.
4th annual tournament where she danced with the devil. So, some good stuff from her, as usual, as expected from her.
Oh, shrapnel block with the orb. Don't know if that was intentional, but got away. Oh my goodness, Sigma tried to thread the needle.
Yes,
that was and look at this time for Hefe.
What a time. A 4-11 entry into the Mutoid Man. Sigma, unfortunately, takes a death. She gets a Rockets. This should take her to the end of the room. But Jefeman into the Mutoid Man with the Ball Buster opportunity. And Sigma gets a orb as the final drop going into the Mutoid Man fight as well.
It's like a 15-second lead or so. Let's see if Hefe can get that Ball Buster. Overswings, misses it.
That is 3 Ball Busters that Jefeman has missed in this match. Hopefully it does not come back to bite him.
Bad drop for Sigma to start, just ignoring it initially, trying to get the gunner gone. Gonna get the foot. Let's see if we can get the reverse buster's not easy. And then a key. Sigma waiting to see what the next drop is. It's being covered. It is a lobber.
So we got a one form advantage. Both not able to get the ball busted.
That's a spreader! Hefe gambles! It's a spreader! What a gamble from Hefe!
He is lined up perfectly. He's not moving too fast to get away from it. He gets two forms. We got a glitch toid on Jefeman's side.
Dies there at the end of the spreader. Let's see what the next drop is. It's a grenade. Sigma hanging on here, but Hefe definitely in control.
Yeah, Sigma needs a spreader, and she needs it badly. Otherwise, she will be going down to the second chance bracket to face the real zero. Jefeman is on the penultimate form with a glitch toy. Sigmafan needs a spreader now, badly.
Hefe can ride these lobbers out to final form easily. See if that'll be enough to even keep going here. Now, an invulnerability. Can grab it if he wants. Can outweight, though.
I would grab it, but it was a little dangerous kind of where it was. He gets a slobber at his feet, so
grenades,
and he gets grenade at his feet,
and he gets run over.
He gets run over, so he needs to get control. He needs to get these rockets and take him out. Sigma is still two forms back, and unfortunately for Sigmafan, it is not going to happen with the spreader. She didn't get one for that one, so Jefeman is going to be taking game number 5, moving on to face CHX42.
And a spreader too late, game. Are you kidding?
Oh man, it's on the penultimate form too. So if she gets this transfer damage, this could take her to the end of the fight. This rocket may actually do it for her.
Oh yeah, he got a ton. She got a ton there, and unfortunately, she's gonna take the loss here.
Yeah, that spreader was definitely a clutch, but it was just a little too late for Sigmafan. You hate to see it, but that's just how it goes in Smash TV. It's RNG, and Jefeman getting a very prime spreader location on his.
But get your GGs out. That was a heck of a showing, guys. Great matchup here. Jefeman82 taking it 3-2. Yeah. Can't hang your head in shame on that one. It's just not meant to be some days.
Yes,